So welcome to episode 8. Cannot believe I'm fucking episode 8 already. This is absolutely flying by. I'm here with long-time friend and coach, Ste Physique. Mate, thanks for making the journey all the way down here just for this. No, I'm joking. How come you're actually down here?
So I've just finished up a couple of days of content with my sponsors, Elite Sups. And then I just thought, you know what, kill two birds with one stone. See,
Wait,
my boy.
what's this I've seen that you are on the face of a liquid chalk bottle?
I am. Surprised to me myself as well. I turned up to the warehouse. And I looked at this product and it said liquid chalk and I was like, hey, Mush, that's me.
Yeah. Hey, he's on.
I'm
Chris.
actually on a product.
Like a liquid chalk bottle. He is, you know, like where you look at like models. He's the model of the bottle. He's on the bottle.
Let's not get carried away.
You are?
I mean, I am, but it's one product. And we can call it Stephen's Liquid if you want.
Stephen's Liquid?
Stephen's Liquid or Stephen Chalk.
Stephen Chalk.
Stephen's Liquid's all right.
It sounds very... not PG.
That's me though, isn't it?
It could go anyway.
Yeah,
but no, to be fair, like it's one of them where like a lot of people will, well, mate, how many people will go through their fucking life without actually being on the cover of something, being on the bottle of something? Must have been mad, like seeing it.
See, you know what? You know me very well. And you know what my thought process would have been. I'd been like, oh, that's pretty cool, move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I appreciate that. That's why, to be fair, I actually did a post about it because I knew people would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because it's some, like, as well, like I've been involved in a couple of magazines and I've posted that and gone, oh, that's a life goal ticked off. And I'm like, it's just part of the process.
Mate, speaking of life goals, I have been, I'm going to ambush you here.
Oh, God.
I'm going to completely ambush you.
God, here we go.
I've had stuff ready to ask. So when you've been like, we've got questions, I'm like...
He done me here.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've been ready for this. Mate, we've not spoke a lot recently.
No,
so like,
no,
I've been every time like a little nugget has come in my head, I'm like, I'll ask him that when he's on.
Yeah.
I'll ask him that when he's on. What the fuck's going on? Like, you've gone from obviously you're coaching.
Yes.
And then you now like business coaching.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Just give me a breakdown, bro. Because obviously we check in once a week. We pop up into each other and chat shit on Instagram, and that's our relationship right now. So give us an update, bro. What's going on?
So for me, obviously, been coaching JC for a while, and the natural progression I've seen from my coaching is just wanting to give value in a different perspective and different way. So beginning of this year, or actually probably end of last year, I started working on a new business called the Coach University, which is completely aimed at giving online coaches a complete full spectrum breakdown of what it takes to be a coach. And I'm not just talking about lead generation or business funnels. I'm talking about breaking down the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know, this is where I think the gap in the market has come. For me, I've seen a gap in the market. I've done my market research, and I've spent a lot of time, a lot of hours working away and now we've produced that, so we've got two businesses, two fully fledged businesses that we're looking at.
Online coaching and business coaching.
Online coaching is completely separate now, and then obviously the business coaching kind of blends in with the Coach University. So like the Coach University is almost like a members area that I give access to all my mentees. So I'm currently working with 5 mentees at the moment just to see how to manage my time. Yeah. And then from there, trying to offer as much value to people within the Coach University. And mate, it's all about helping people. Like, people say it all the time, and you probably hear it all the time saying, I just want to provide value. But like, that's why it's £50 a month, because I don't want to make it expensive. I don't need to make it expensive. I don't need to make money from it. No. You know, I have my finances taken care of from the coaching side of things. So I'm literally bringing this in because you want to do it. Because I want to do it. And also, I feel like I can give a lot of value there.
I had that conversation today, because obviously this has done a lot better than I ever thought it would do in terms of like views and downloads and stuff. And someone in the gym today was like, are you making money from it yet? And I was like, I've not even really looked at it. And he was going, he started speaking to me. I just interrupted him and went, mate, I couldn't give a fuck whether you earn money from it or not. I do it because I like doing it.
100%.
I do it because I get people on. I know I'm like, it sounds like an echo chamber. It provides value. Mm-hmm. You get to hear people's stories. I enjoy doing it because a lot of people always think like there's got to be a monetary gain. And then obviously from that side of things, you've got everything wrapped up with the coaching side. Yeah. You're doing it because you want to do it. And like, there's so much success in just doing something that you actually want to do. Like if you go out your way and you're like, I actually want to provide value to, because maybe it's something that you missed with like other coaches. Maybe it's something that you missed or thought, I wish I had that growing up, like 100%. When I was a young coach. So you look and go, well, I'm going to be the one who bridges that gap for these younger coaches.
Takes balls.
Yeah, exactly. So how's it going?
Good. Had a very successful month. We were up to 25 initial sign-ups. And the main thing for me is just letting it grow, because I understand, and this is where potentially ego can get in the way. I understand I'm starting from ground zero here.
Yeah.
I need to prove to people I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I love it.
Isn't it great?
Like, for me, it's a great new challenge. It's a great new challenge for me, and I now need to reprove myself.
Sounds daft, but like for a lot of people who aren't like, who haven't done it, are like in a way of where, I don't want to sound too big-headed, but like where you get extremely good at your craft, where you like basically do it with your eyes closed.
Yep.
Like you've
like
done
driving.
coaching. Yeah, like it's just, you just know what to do. Like you face so many problems and you've done it so many times, you can just do it like at the click of a finger. It's so easy. And there's something nice about just starting something and going, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. And it's like a new venture.
Yep.
Like, it's so nice. So one question I've got for you, mate, this is going to be a complete segue here. You've been working a lot. Now, obviously, you're a coach, my coach, but I've known you fucking ages, to be fair. It's been a while, hasn't it? So you're a friend first to me. And there are times where, obviously, when it's on your stories, I don't, like you said off camera before, I need to get back on my stories. And normally where you laughed and was like, fucking hell, I've been busy, I've not noticed it on your stories. And I like was joking about my stories are constantly like rammed full of stuff. And obviously yours have been up, but there's been like 3, 4, maybe 5 a day, whereas normally yours is like 15, 20 stories per day, every day. Gonna segue here, bro. How are you coping? Because you've got a shitload of work on. Like, mentally, how are you?
It just takes
Have you struggled or?
Do you know what it is? The hardest thing about it all is delegation of my time.
Yeah.
You know, because I want to provide a certain level of service with whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
And quality for me is really important. So that's where I personally decided not to take on any online coaching clients whilst I was building the business. I was like, do you know what? Any inquiries come through, I'm just going to tell them for now I'm okay, I'm doing my thing with the business. And then the amount, like, I'm not going to oversell how many hours I put into the Coach University, but I spent probably altogether about 30 to 35 days sitting in my office, fucking making content, editing, posting, backwards and forwards with the website designer. So like for me, it was quite a big project.
Yeah.
But
you've been quiet.
Yeah, that's why I've been quiet, because my mind's been elsewhere.
I thought it's either something's wrong or something's going on.
Yeah.
And luckily, it's something going on.
Because I wanted to keep it quiet because I knew if anyone got whiff of this, it was that good of an idea. I didn't want anyone to come in first.
Yeah.
And I've between me and you, obviously everyone else is listening, a couple of people that I used to work with have now bring out their own university, which is quite ironic. A week or so after mine.
Yeah.
So like I knew that was going to happen. That's why I had to keep it really quiet, because I wanted to tell people. I wanted to shout from the rooftops, mate, because I genuinely believe this idea is groundbreaking, and I don't think anyone at the moment from that side of the business or that side of the industry is trying to put all of these elements together. They're only focusing on a couple. Yeah. And their expertise is on a couple, but I'm trying to bring it all together because I can, because I live it, I breathe it, I'm a coach. So that for me was the main thing, is strategizing the time between that. And now obviously it's all kind of settled on the ground. Again, it comes down to, right, my content strategy isn't just solely focused on my personal progression and my coaching. I've now got to bring another element to the table, which is another thing to think about.
Yeah.
And that's been quite a struggle, because I obviously want to chuck every piece of content I've got out there. But again, it's about making sure that I'm not just posting things for the sake of it.
Strip feeding the content.
I need to try and do it properly, and it's difficult. But that's pretty much the hardest thing.
It's like this is such a bad analogy that's going to sound gross, but like it's like blowing your load in it. Like if it's such a bad thing to say, but like it's like if you put all your content out at once.
That's it.
Like say on a Monday, like you upload 4 or 5 times. Well, what are you doing for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't like when it comes to content, mate. It is such a people unless they're doing it, don't understand it. They just think like. They look at me on like the gym floor or on my laptop, or you behind your fucking laptop, whatever, and they're like, they've got it so easy. And it's like, well, you don't see the other like 18 hours of the day.
No,
when we're going to sleep at like 10, waking up at 4 or 5 or whatever, or like, and then you've got stuff to do. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't that I was worried about you, but I was a bit like, it's not himself lately. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, like I said to you, it's either something's up with him, and then I knew something was going on when you popped that thing over to me about the university. I was like, I've just been busy. Just been very busy.
I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. The back end of my prep was hard.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of shit, which I don't think was very warranted. And it kind of made me rethink what I was even doing with myself. And obviously that was back end of last year. right? And this was before I kind of had the
Do
idea
you know
of the
what,
coaching
bro?
university.
From what you told me, I fucking hate bodybuilding.
Oh, I
can't stand it, mate.
I fucking don't, man.
Like people, and people gonna watch this and go, "What the fuck?" Like these two, like both.
We're gonna be chatting real shit.
I fucking hate it, mate. I hate going to bodybuilding shows. I think it's, no offense, a lot of idiots go there. Like, and then the industry, mate, can be so toxic.
Worst part about it, mate.
Like, and you know yourself, mate. You obviously helped me conduct myself through the whole prep for my competition. I've felt how fucking hard it is to get on stage. So even for people who maybe haven't tried the absolute hardest, I still know how fucking hard it is to get on stage. Yeah. And I'll take my hat off to anyone that does it. But yeah, a lot of the shit you were getting, it pissed me off, mate.
Well, I had it the other day, mate. I had it again.
Annoying.
Someone get this, yeah. Listen to this. So someone went through the inquiry form. So my application form on Google Forms, which is 18 questions long, all required, right? Just to give me.
You showed me this.
Just to give me a paragraph of shit on my inquiry.
I think I asked for your. I think I asked you to show me your template like years ago when I started online coaching, and it's a long thing mate, to go through. Innit?
So someone's gone through the effort, and then what they've done is they've taken a paragraphed answer and just said, you finished last in bodybuilding, you are getting your top off in the gym, everyone thinks you're a cunt, the whole community doesn't fucking like you. And like the bit about the community, I'm like, I don't want the community to like me. I do not want to fit in.
No.
I read that and I was like, first of all, I laughed because you've taken your time out of your day to really just kind of stick the knife in. And at the end of the day, I also kind of don't really want the bodybuilding community to really fall in love with me because I don't want to fall in love with the bodybuilding community.
But the thing is, that's why I hate it, mate, because it's like, as I said before, when I was like, well, you're my friend first, coach second. Like, bro, you're a person first. Like, your whole identity is not bodybuilding. Like, it's not like you've got this mask. Well, sorry, it is. It's like you've got this mask on that you're getting through prep, you're trying to get your content out and everything like that. Bro, it is stressful. Yeah. What people don't realise is like, that is probably, well, it's clearly a very insecure, jealous person. Mate, something like that could like push you over the edge.
Not me. But
not
I understand
you. No.
people,
What I'm saying is, not you and not me, but what I'm saying is, bro, if there's like someone watching and they've not like, say they've not been through a lot in their life and they've never really like had a problem like pushed onto them as much, and then all of a sudden they get this fucking unsolicited, unprovoked, let's be honest, attack on like you personally going, you look shit, you did this, everyone thinks you're a cunt. Mate, that's why I fucking hate it, because in the industry, mate, like, them being a cunt isn't going to make them look better. So why the fuck are you doing it? Like, just being, like, I know it sounds so cliche and so like, oh, like hippie. Be nice, man. Do you know what I mean?
Treat people how you would like to be treated yourself.
Like, those who want respect, give it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's why people say to me all the time, when's your next show? And I'm like, I'd happily never do it again.
Yeah, 100%.
Because honestly, you're putting yourself in the spotlight, you're killing yourself to look good, and you get idiots like that.
I enjoy the pressure though. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be honest with you, this might not be a very common answer, but I enjoy putting myself out there. I enjoy people being opinionated because it's water off a duck's back for me. I thrive off of proving myself right in a lot of situations, and the reason why I do all of this is because I'm looking to consistently challenge myself, and within that will naturally grant a certain reaction from people who are insecure, because they'll look at me and go, nah, that can't be right. How the fuck is he feeling that secure about himself? How can he be that confident? And like, at the end of the day, I think you develop that over time, because when I was with my ex and I was worrying about how I looked and worrying about our relationship, like, I was far from that guy. I was far from the guy I'm talking to right now, and we weren't as close then, but you were privy to those situations.
No,
and like, this is what I'm saying, like, anyone can turn it around. You just got to make sure that you consistently trust yourself, build that trust, make promises to yourself, keep them. And you can, like, it sounds so easy when you say it out loud, but like, once you start like pulling yourself up for your own shit and really just focus on consistently trying to be better, all of these things really become irrelevant. You just kind of block them out, and you laugh at them when they come at you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, it's one of them things where, at the end of the day, bullying and harassment and negativity is always okay until it's aimed at you personally. Yeah. And then it becomes the issue. And it's like, no, that's not fair. And it's like, well, everyone's going to receive it at some point. Yeah. You know?
Especially in this industry.
Mate, this is what you've got to be understanding of. If you're going to put yourself out there where fundamentally there are going to be a lot of opinions, you're going to have to be prepared for those opinions.
And here's a curveball. If you get all that shit, you're going the right way.
Jealousy's earned, my friend.
If you ruffle and make a few feathers and make people feel bad, mate, you will go. No one will ever look at someone who isn't a threat, so to speak, or like someone who makes them feel. I know it sounds terrible, but like you look at someone and like they can, like their kind of success could make you feel insecure, and obviously that's like a problem that a lot of people have. As you mentioned, the jealousy side of things, like you doing well. Like if you feel threatened by that, that's a genuine you problem. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a genuine problem they have. But if you're attracting that, mate, like you're doing a good job. See, I've never been doing as well as I am right now. And I've also never been copping as much shit as I am right now.
That's good.
And you've just got, but I look at it and I always use a quote, mate. If video games have taught me one thing, when you encounter enemies, you go in the right direction.
Yeah.
And it's true. Because when I was like, I'll probably get onto this topic, mate, but years ago when I was like a big chunky monkey, do you know what I mean?
I remember the picture outside Marikina.
Me and you, which you'll be...
Both out of shape, both fucking low on confidence.
Was that 4 or 5 years ago?
That was in 2019.
4 years.
Yeah.
A while ago. Yeah. Everyone, like I remember when I started PTing again, and I kind of just did it because I wanted to like pay my bills and just actually enjoy what I was doing. The amount of support I received from people who were kind of just like, oh, support his little PT thing. Yeah. And now that I'm like fucking smashing it, mate.
Yeah.
I've got people in my gym, bro, who don't even look at me. And you know, if you ever, I'll probably put this on like Instagram or something.
You get blacklisted.
Yeah, mate. And like, what to know is like, oh yeah, give him a shirt, book him with it. And then as soon as you start doing that, they're like, he's doing a bit too well now.
Fuck him.
It's fucking crazy, man. Like, but for people like me and you, like, I love seeing people do well. Do you know what I mean? I love seeing people smash it. It's fucking bizarre, but yeah, the amount of shit you copped off the back of your prep, mate, was bizarre. But do you know what? It's so easy as a snapshot, and this is like me speaking, and it's an educated opinion on your whole glow up, so to speak. But like, from like you just mentioned, from where you were 4 years ago to now, bro, 4 years ago, and I know like you had aspirations. We all have aspirations, but 4 years ago, you weren't fucking thinking you were going to do this. No way. Nah. You weren't thinking, I'll go out. Well, wait, you've smoked a competition anyway. Like speaking of comps, and then obviously you've gone on to be a successful coach, gone to launch your own like coach university. Everything's going in the right direction, bro. And like you've come from what is a very negative place. Like when you were at World stuff, mate, of like when you used to pose in your fucking boxes in the old gym, I'm like, do you remember him?
Yeah.
That ain't the same guy anymore.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean?
And
You've come a long way.
Do you know what it is? And that's the great, for anyone listening out there, that's a great motivator to start working on yourself, because you'd be so fucking surprised at how far it will take you.
Yeah.
You'll be so surprised.
I try and say this to everyone, mate, and it's literally... It's easy for... People probably look at me and you and go, it's easy for them to say it because they're doing well. But like, we're doing well because we put one foot in front of the other every day. That's it.
We've been on both sides of the coin as well.
Exactly. And that's why, like, I said something the other day, and I said it on a podcast as well. One of the podcasts I was speaking about earlier when they had Elle on, and she asked me a question about money. And I was like, well, I've been on both sides of this fence, so I can give a qualified opinion. And we've both been on both sides of this fence, where we've been out of shape, unhappy, unsuccessful, and then we've been in shape with successful, thriving businesses and everything else. So you can kind of speak on both sides of it. Do you know what I mean? And people don't realise if you aim to be, and not to get like too cringy here, like a typical fucking like Instagram quote, do you know what I mean? But if you try and get better like 1% daily, like end of the year, bro, 365%, do you know what I mean? You could be 3 times a person in a year. If you just try and tick the box. People don't realise just ticking boxes daily will take you so fucking far.
And it's the knock-on effect on that. It's a ripple effect.
Yeah,
because once you start, and this is where kind of going back to the point of handling the comments. Like if you were to keep promises to yourself for 365 days, you would not believe the amount of confidence you would instill in yourself, and therefore these comments that get made will be completely unaffected.
Yeah,
because you've built that trust and you've kept so many promises to yourself. You will back your opinion.
And you know yourself.
And you'll back yourself.
Like you know yourself as an individual.
And it's warranted because you've put the work in.
I heard a quote once, and I think it rings true here. Like discipline is freedom of the mind, and it is. Like if you every day, like you don't, not one of us, me or you, wants to wake up every day and do the shit that we actually don't want to do, but we do it anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't wake up and go, oh, I can't wait to hit 15k steps today. I can't wait to have 12 clients today. I can't wait to be on my fucking feet for 16 hours today. But like you do it, and it enables you to have that mental freedom that you're not shackled. Where if anyone gives you these negative opinions, you just sit there and think, you're full of shit. I know me.
Yeah.
I know me. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. Like, whatever you're saying is bullshit. Where a lot of other people, because you don't really know themselves, they're like, oh, hang on, is that me? Do you know what I mean? And it's, like you say, mate, it takes you so far just having that mentality.
I think one thing to add before we move on is I always go back to a couple of questions that you want to ask yourself when it comes to these comments. Have they met you in person? Do they have your phone number? Are they an acquaintance or a friend? If the answer is no to those 3 questions, they're irrelevant. Their opinion doesn't mean anything, because the reason why that is because they haven't got the grounds to actually have the information accessible to them to make that informed decision. Exactly. They're obviously making a decision informed through hearsay or snapshots.
Exactly.
You know, and if you're going to do that, that's playing a dangerous game.
Yeah.
With anything in life. Imagine if you did that with a business and you go, I've got 10% of the information that I need, I'm going to invest £1,000. You wouldn't do that.
No, you wouldn't.
But people do it with their opinions because it doesn't cost them anything.
People do it with opinions, people do it with stories, no half a story, judge it fully, do you know what I mean? It's how people are, mate, but like you say there, it's so easy for people as well. And it is a switch that you can do mentally. Like you just mentioned there, are these people even close to you? Because if they're not, like, why the fuck? I always say, like, why would you be controlled by the opinions of others? Yeah. Why would your life be dictated by the opinions of others? Because you've probably got, you count on one hand how many people could actually have a qualified opinion on your
100%.
life. So I was daft, mate. Me and you know each other extremely well.
Yeah.
If you said something about my life and I said something about yours, bro, we don't fucking know. Like, I know you as a mate, you're that busy doing your own thing. Like, imagine if I turned around and was like, you're not on your stories, like, you're fucking slacking. You was like, well, actually, dickhead, I've been doing a fucking culture university for 35 days. I'd be like, oh, sorry, Steve. Yeah, really. But that's the same thing, innit? Do you know what I mean? Because I've seen a snapshot going, he's been lazy on his stories. What's he doing? And like, people don't know, but he's so quick to do it. And that's why, in that situation, why it's so relevant. Because you could turn around and go, well, actually, mate, I've been doing this. And it immediately just brushes it off. Yeah. But there you go.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like,
it's a good bit of value that for people listening. Like, do not be prisoner to people's opinions. Like, I know it sounds so cringy, mate. We sound like middle-aged mums on here. Like, live, laugh, love.
Loose women, this
is. You get live, laugh, love on the wall here.
Mate, I'll tell you what, my prep series is called Live and Laugh, innit? So I'm not too far off.
Live and laugh? Is it really?
Yeah, it had to be, bro. That's got to make. I don't care how cringe it is. It's got to be representable. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I like it.
You got to laugh and live, bro. Honestly, you have. Like, at the end of the day, like, what really is the worst that can happen when you start to, like, take some risks? And what's the worst that can happen? You end up where you fucking end up in the position you already are in.
It all works out anyway.
I mean, come on, man, enjoy the ride.
It all works out anyway, to be fair. But no, mate, like, watching how far you've come over the last few years has been nuts. Like, it has, to be fair. Like, one question, like, which I think will be really interesting from you, because and I'm not ashamed to admit this, but your change inspired my change.
Yeah, man.
It did. And I'm fucking, like, when I go on about the most influential people in my life, bro, you're in there.
I appreciate
genuinely. Like, I mean that from the bottom of my heart, mate. Like, a lot of people, like, the fucking stupid thing you got, like, where people's like, you come last, you did this, you blah, blah, blah. Bro, I watched your change and I was like, this cunt looked like me 6 months ago. Yeah. And, like, he's absolutely fine. I remember just speaking to you and we had a brief conversation. I was like, mate, I'm jumping on board. We're going. And then all of a sudden, like, that's what I mean. Like, your change just got me inspired to move. Like, what triggered that, mate? I know we've spoke about it, but I think it's so valuable because I remember you sitting down.
What triggered that?
I remember you telling me a story. You were like, I sat down, I asked people hard-hitting, honest questions about myself. I remember you telling me that. You was like, what is your opinion of me? And you heard a lot of shit that you didn't want to hear, but you needed to hear. That, like, you was a bit of a joker. You didn't take things serious.
They weren't even that harsh.
They were just honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They weren't derogative.
Bro, what triggered you to be sat in your house and go, I need to fucking change this?
One thing was the way that, I mean, like, I'm going to be honest with you. Here's a caveat. The majority of men's success, right, always comes off the back of a heartbreak. Let me be real.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even joking, because mine did. Yeah, right, let me straight be real. Like, I was with a girl. You've got to throw
yourself in, haven't you?
I was with a girl for 2 years, bro. And the end of that relationship had me questioning myself, had me doubting myself, had me really kind of questioning my ability as a human being, let alone as a coach. Coaching weren't even in the question at this point. I was a security guard doing lots of shifts, doing lots of hours, right? And then I kind of...
Remember when he was a bouncer?
Yeah, mate, that was my full-time
Sure,
job.
when he was a bouncer,
I was doing
bro.
nights, bro. I was doing night shifts. I was working in clubs. I was doing static shifts, 12 on, 12
Sorry
off.
to take a segue here, but every sane talent person is going to laugh at this story because you don't really know the severity. Chris might know this bar as well. But in like 2019, 2018, me and another lad who I used to be mates with were trying to convince Steve to move into St. Helens Town to be a bouncer on Wobbs.
Do you know what?
We're about to
my innocent soul here was fucking game. I was like, this is the best thing since sliced bread.
Wobbs,
And the reason why it didn't happen was because I got back with that bird that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the only reason why I didn't move into a 1-bedroom studio flat with the fucking sofa just below the bed. It was the box, mate. Honestly, an absolute box. And I was so buzzing to get out of Worcester. I was like, yeah, JC, let's go, let's do it. And then it fell through. It fell through because obviously I got back with that bird. And then I spent another 18 months in Worcester, right? And obviously that is kind of the origin story to that, right? And then I stayed in Worcester. I put far too much of my time and energy into my relationship. And then I came out of it and I was like, let me just try and see if I can put that same amount of energy in myself, improve myself. And I was like, because I'd competed before in 2018, I was like, I've got this, I can do this. And I was like, do you know what? I know what I want to do. And 6 months before I made the decision, I had a notes pad, right? And my initial goal was this will make you crack up. My initial goal is in my lifetime achievement was make £5,000 for my laptop. That's in my notes, October the 12th, 2019. I can grab a screenshot, right? And then you fast forward in March, a couple of weeks before my birthday, when COVID hits, I'm in my bed and I'm like, what are you doing, man? What is your purpose? Why are you doing this? What is the reason why you're in this position? And I was just like, I'm going to fucking full send this. I'm going to full send this. I'm going to plow every resource and everything I have into this coaching. I spent 8 months in my overdraft just consistently putting money back into the business. I was making 2,000, putting it back in, making 2,000, putting it back in, right? I didn't have any money to my name until about November of that year. And that's when it started. And I competed the September of that year, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep churning out. And like looking back at it now, massive risk. Because if it didn't work out, then realistically, I was going to be back to the doors. But this is why I say, what's the worst that can happen? Because
it is literally, and my story is very similar to this. It is a literal, not literal, but throw of the dice.
Yeah.
It is like, I'm having a fucking gamble here.
Play the game.
Yeah, have a go. Big risk, big reward.
Yeah,
Gotta
always.
be. And look at you now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
We're doing all right. We're doing all right. You know, it's going well. So, like, at the end of the day, for me, it's a case of, let's at least try this.
Yeah.
See how far we can take it. And if it doesn't work, fuck it.
Yeah.
But we haven't had to have a conversation, so.
And I think that's like, so the reason I wanted to say that as well is because, like, it's very easy to see someone like you who's such a big character. And, like, obviously, I preach a lot. I preach constantly, like, on my social media and everything like that. But, bro, you was in the shit 4 years ago.
Mad. Massively.
In the shit, mate.
Borrowing money to pay rent.
In the shit. I know we're laughing, bro.
Borrowing money to pay rent, bro.
Imagine if I turned around to you now and was like, come and be a doorman on Wobbs.
Yeah.
Bro, I might show you Wobbs whilst you're here before you go home. It was a shithole, right? But you would literally be like, it wouldn't even enter your head.
Nope.
Right? But at the time, you were like, this is a good idea.
That's where my life was.
Yeah, exactly. That's where your life was. And then now, 4 years later, and let's be honest now, 4 years isn't a long time. Like, the average age of a human is like, what, 78? Something like that? Like, round up to 80. Bro, that is like, what? Fucking 5% of your life?
5%.
Invest 5% of your life and fucking chill for the other 95. Like, 4 years later, you were in this position. Like, people are so quick to want, like, instant gratification and instant satisfaction. But as you've just said there, it has that ripple effect. Right, I'm going to plow everything into coaching. I'm going to compete again. I'm going to do this. And before you know it, you fall into shit. Like, you just stumble into stuff.
Yes.
Like, I'm a huge believer, mate, in, like, if you just work hard at what you want to do, shit just works out. What we're doing today, I didn't fucking plan this.
Nah.
I didn't plan to launch a podcast, mate. Like, when I was 3 years ago, like, obviously you know my story better than anyone else when it comes to, like, my progression. Like, been 3 years now, roughly, around that time. Like, at the time...
August 2020 is when I took you on board.
Yeah, so we're coming up to 3 years, aren't we? Because it would have been in, like, lockdown now, wouldn't we, actually, 3 years ago? Mm-hmm. And lockdown was just a fucking shit show, obviously, for, like, most people. But at that time, what was my goal? Just get in shape.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's what it was saying for me.
Get in shape, and then it was like, right, get in shape and get a photo shoot.
Yeah.
photo shoot, and then do a comp. And in the middle of all that happened, Belter, it was in this building downstairs.
It was in this building downstairs.
And all that happened, and then I picked up shitloads of clients.
Yeah.
And then I picked up loads of online coaching clients, and then I've launched the podcast, and then loads of other shit. Got my house. Like, shit just happens. Yeah. It's almost magical how it happens. And people think that you need to have. And don't get me wrong, it's important. Like you said, I wrote this down. 5K from my laptop. That's what I'm going to do. It's important to write things down and keep yourself accountable. But at the same time, it's important just to fucking start.
Yeah.
Just make a start. Don't need a plan. Like, it's like people going about, you need a 3 month, 6 month, 12. Maybe for business, and you're talking metrics. But if you're in the shit, sat on your fucking couch, feeling wank, just start. Yeah. Like, it doesn't need to be a foolproof plan. Like, literally, get off your ass tomorrow and get better. And then in 2 months' time, you'll probably fall into something else. And it just keeps snowballing, because that is your story, mate, is such a prime example of, I worked the doors, I was in my fucking overdraft, and I thought, fuck it, I'm having a blast. Well, that having a blast has took you here 4 years later.
Yeah.
And it's so important for people to know, mate, that you'll get so far with backing yourself and just fucking working hard at stuff.
You gotta have that blind faith, you know, and I think a lot of people suffer from paralysis via over-analysis, because they try and think of all these potential
paralysis via over-analysis. Get that on a fucking t-shirt, ladies and gentlemen. That is a quote.
Because
that is a quote.
People, they want to try and think about all these eventual outcomes and all the possibilities, and what if this happens, what if that happens.
You ready for another one?
Chill out.
War is lost by indecision, not wrong decision.
Yes.
Same thing.
100%. Because if you don't, like, mate, imagine back in the 1940s, yeah? They don't decide to go to a border, they lose that fucking side of the country, then they get to advance, etc., etc. You're fucked.
Yeah.
So because you didn't make a decision, you're now in a worse position.
Yeah.
And people don't think about it that way. They think, if I'm going to be in a better position, I've got to make sure that all these align and everything comes into place.
I'm comfortable. And like you say, you're paralysed by that.
Bro, fuck being. If you want to progress, fuck the idea of being comfortable, because the idea of progression comes from challenge, comes from struggle, comes from trauma.
I always say your best lessons in life come from loss and hardship.
Oh, massive.
Because you fail, and then you analyse, and then go, right, I failed that time, that way, I'm not going to do it again. Like, people think that, like, progress should be so comfortable in any aspect, whether it's spiritual, physical, financial, business, whatever. Get used to being uncomfortable, because it's not supposed to be comfortable. And because where infamiliarity lies, like, you're going to be uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've never like been that path, you've never walked down that road. It's going to feel shit, like what's going on, do you know what I mean? But comfort kills. Like, you being happy, oh, well, on my couch, safe here, nothing can bother me. That is going to keep you in the same place. But you actually going out and taking some fucking risks and actually working on yourself, that's what's going to push you forward. It's going to feel shit, but as we said before, mate, discipline can equal freedom. And it's going to take you a lot further than you sitting down going, ooh, and like over-analysing. Like you say, love that quote, mate. Paralysis by over-analysis. That's a belt of that.
Oh, look, at the end of the day, you probably know me best, mate. I'm not one for planning.
No.
You know, like, and if anyone wants to sit here and say you have to have a plan and you have to do this, you just, like, I'll be honest with you, until about 6 months ago, I didn't really have a plan with either business. No. Like, at the end of the day, like, I've put a lot of stuff in place now off the back of how my life went post-prep in terms of, like, struggles with business and, like, losing momentum, etc., because I overworked myself. And, like, the last 3 months have been putting things in place with employment, with my automation of my business, and all these things that people don't see until they sign up, and people that they probably don't appreciate the prioritization of. And, like, that's what it's been for me. Like, I took all of the things that didn't go right for me last year, digested, analysed, and that was it. And then just put things in place. And do you know what? I'm not going to know if the fruits of my labour will grow until I put myself in the exact same position as I did last year and test the fucking waters.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing, mate. This is the great thing about life. You get to challenge yourself. You get to test your own limits, which is fantastic. I love it.
I think when you fall in love with that process, when you fall in love with the actual, it's great, mate, because people can be so scared of that. But, like, with this, like, I was speaking to Chris, my first time I ever did one of these, but I was nervous. I do not get nervous, but I was nervous. I was, like, probably over-analysing it again, but I was sat there going, I fucking can't wait to be nervous. I can't wait to be shit at something again and just get better. Do you know what I mean? Like, as soon as you fall in love with that, like, being in the suck, being in the grind, mate, like, I always say it, like, on social media, you just become a machine.
Yes.
You just become a progress-making, box-ticking machine.
Well-oiled machine.
You will do. You just fly forward. Like, as soon as you come to terms with, like, this is going to be shit, but I know it's not going to be shit forever, mate, the amount of progress you make is actually silly.
And you got to have that blind faith.
Oh, yeah.
You know, anything that you do,
Got to kid yourself.
you have to almost have an element of arrogance. Because not in the way that you've already completed something, but in the way that your decision is the right decision.
Arrogance is such a strange one because I've always, my entire life, been described as arrogant by so many people. But now I don't get it. Like, and I think it's because years ago when I first started, it come across as that arrogance almost. But like now that it's going well, people see it as confidence. It's like, well, I'm the same geezer I was 3-4 years ago. I'm just like, well, if you turn around and go, I'm going to be this successful, people are, oh, you're fucking arrogant. But then you turn around and do it, and then they're like, oh, he's just confident.
Yeah.
Like you've got to wear your goal and you've got to wear it like a shield, mate.
Going back to what you've just said there, I think arrogance mixed with no validation is a dangerous thing because people go, well, why is he arrogant? Why is he confident? But then you bring in the success, you bring in the validation, you bring in the confirmation of your thoughts and feelings. Then the arrogance turns automatically into confidence because people go, well, he's not really that arrogant because he's got a proven track record now. Yeah. Whereas before, it does come across slightly arrogant because you haven't got that track record, you haven't got that beaming light of success to kind of back you up.
It's like, where's your results? Well,
exactly, 100%. But that's also part of fun.
It is. How long have we got left here, Chris? 3 minutes. Just like to say, we were supposed to start this at 3. It's currently, Chris is putting the finger up, it's currently 3:57. Me and Steve are here at 3. What time do you have this set up for? By about 15:15?
I don't know, maybe.
So he's robbed us of 15 minutes of content. Thanks, Chris.
He's there showing his I don't give a fuck.
Right, Steve, you've had some questions. We're going to wrap this up with just something fucking stupid because we can't be serious with... We can't wrap something serious up in 3 minutes.
This has been the most serious me and JC have ever been. Can I just say that?
Even when I was dying on that prep shoot that day, we was even joking about like squashies and we were making jokey videos.
Squashies and
this is probably the most serious I've ever been.
Peanut butter.
Squashy peanut butter to scintillate your tape. What was it? I can't remember, but it was something daft. It's on YouTube anyway. Get a question out. What questions have you been asked? Just give me the most ridiculous one.
Hold on.
Quick, and we'll just.
One of them was, how have you found being in a position where you have made some goals happen, but that's it, you've achieved them, and then that, like, what do you do from there? Like if I was to ask that question again, someone asked, what have you done since achieving your goals? And then going from there, so like almost like, what do you do after you've achieved goals? Do you just sit, chill? Do you make more? What's your approach to that?
Carry on. I don't sit and chill.
Yeah,
I'm not wired that way. I can't do it. Wish I could. Really wish I could, but I can't. Like I was joking with him yesterday about something. Like he was going on about different cultures and stuff, and like how people can like get massive burnout and whatever. And bro, I was like sat at home playing fucking Xbox, just chilling. Do you know what I mean? And like, but even when I was sat there, I was still kind of like, right, I've got this. Because me and you had a conversation about it as well, and it's like, you struggle when there's no struggle.
100%.
You've constantly got to seek it.
You'll give it yourself.
Yeah, you have, 100%. Like, you've just got to, like me and you, Chris as well, Chris works so fucking hard what he does. Like, you'll
shout out to Chris, by the way.
Shout out to Chris.
Limitless Media.
He's already had a shout out, mate. He had a banging shout out on the last one.
I remember, do you know what? No, first time I ever met, can I just say, first time I ever met Chris, I was working on your show day.
Yeah?
Yeah, the whole thing just can transform, so congratulations, my friend.
Mate, listen, he gets enough of a shout out, this guy.
Hey, you can have one for me. I don't speak to him.
All he fucking does, mate, is moan at how much money I don't pay him. Because I've got it cheaper than everyone else.
Yeah, but do you know why that is?
Because I believed in him when no one else did.
How much do you pay for me for coaching?
I pay Steve. You ready for this? Because you're going to fall out your fucking seat.
Same principle.
In fact, you're going to be that shot, you're going to lower my price. I pay Steve 75 quid a month.
Yeah.
And how much do you charge now?
250 to 300.
There you go. And I'm on 75.
But do you know why that is? Because do you know what? I think anyone, can I just wrap this up with something that is very good advice for anyone who's looking to have a service-based product, okay, or a business. Reward loyalty, people, please, because loyalty is very hard to come by in this day and age. And if someone can give you loyalty,
are you listening to this?
Please reward that, because at the end of the day, just like JC with Chris and JC with me, they take a gamble on things that they are uninformed on, and they take a risk with that. And if anyone comes to you and they're paying a certain price point, please don't be that guy that goes, right, I'm going to triple, quadruple what you need to pay for, because that's not what I charge anymore. Fuck it. I don't coach JC for the money. I coach JC because he's been loyal. He's one of the OGs. And I do the same with a couple of other clients. And that's simply because I just reward loyalty as an individual. And I think you're going to want a key set of principles when you are building any business. And loyalty is very key, because I think if you find a good person, find them a fucking job.
Yeah. Well, I chime in on this as well, bro. I've got people who I've PT'd like one-to-one now for years that were charged, that I charged 20 quid years ago. Bro, I'm now charging like 35, 40 quid a session. Yeah. If it's a double session, bro, it's like 55, 60 quid, something like that. Mate, I've still got the same people who were back then who were still paying me 20 quid. Do you know what I mean? And I think you do reward loyalty, because like people can be so quick to knock the price up. It's like, you can get a discount because you believed in me fucking 4 years ago and no one else did. And if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in this position.
100%.
You should 100% reward loyalty. I think that is a good thing to end on, because Chris is fuming by the camera because we're 2 minutes late. Even though he was 13 minutes late.
He's got the grin like, yeah,
he's 30 minutes late. So listen, bro, I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
I think
we'll have to do a proper one soon when our man is on time, and yeah, actually speak about some other shit, because I feel like, do you know what? I was coming into this thinking it's going to be quite rushed, but we've done well here, haven't we?
Yeah,
it's flowed really nicely.
We've done really well.
That's why I said to you when you was on about questions off air, I was like, just fucking let it go.
Yeah,
we'll just do it. But yeah, thank you for listening, everyone. If you've got any questions, fire them across to me or fire them across to Steve's name will be in the description. But yeah, thank you for listening. See you soon.